Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Just advertising here a little bit. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. I'll talk to you in a little while there, Janaki. You know what? I'm going to have to take this off YouTube. I mean, off of Facebook. Okay, I'm going to have to just do this on, well, we'll take a chance. What the heck? Maybe it's time to get off Facebook if they have a problem with that. It's just this background music. I can't do anything about it. They partially mute this thing. And so if you miss any of this or it's not showing up, just watch it on YouTube. It's streaming on YouTube here. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go on. So Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Okay, you know, I mentioned this morning that like certain devotees and stuff, I said, you know, they didn't really get it. They were not real acharyas. They didn't pass on what Lord Chaitanya came here to give, or shown that they were like really, you know, really like Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod. So I mentioned that, and now I want to just use Prabhupada's books to discuss what is the real disciplic line, you know, and what is it? What is a real disciplic line? What is it? What is it? What are they trying? See, a disciplic line is they're passing something down. See, some kind of knowledge, some kind of information, maybe some kind of feeling, which is really the essence, actually. So we'll start with Prabhupada's books here. We'll start with chapter 12. of the Adi Lila, which is called, what's it called? Um, it doesn't say what it's called. Anyway, it's chapter 12 of the Adi Lila. And so Prabhupada said this Chaitanya Charitamrita is the postgraduate. Yeah, okay. Is the postgraduate teaching. And so just like you could see, he was teaching new people and babies, and he would say things about Chaitanya Charitamrita, but he wouldn't expose all the deeper secrets. He's left that work for us. And it's very important at this time because without understanding these deeper secrets, the line remains, well, the line is not polluted, but those who are not really in the line and imitating the line or are polluted in the line keep this movement or the real disciplic line from bearing fruit of this ecstatic devotion, because that's what it's all about. Okay, that's the real line. Okay, so translation: the followers of Advaita Prabhu were of two kinds. Some were real followers, and the others were false. Rejecting the false followers, I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Advaita Acharya's real followers, whose life and soul was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It's all in this verse, the whole thing. Everything I'm going to tell you here is encapsulated, encoded in this verse. Okay? So the followers of Advaita Prabhu were two kinds. So Advaita was an Acharya, our line was there, and this applies to all acharyas if they're real, if you're lucky to find one. Okay? So the acharya means Advaita was called acharya because he taught the cult of devotion. Okay? By example, you know, he manifested real devotion, pure devotional love of Krishna. He manifested it. Okay? That's why he was called acharya. See, this is the postgraduate teaching of Chaitanya Lila. Okay, this is in the glories of Advaita. He was called Acharya because he taught the cult of devotion, not only with his word and his conceptions, pure conceptions. He taught by the manifestation of pure devotional love of God manifesting in his heart. Okay? This gave him the clarified, like clarified butter, conceptions of pure bhakti. See, pure bhakti gives us pure bhakti conceptions. And that's how I've learned to recognize who are the real um, um, persons in our lineage. I either have to see here pure conceptions that come from pure bhakti. See, and so sometimes, like with Prabhupada, who's in the real line, even though Prabhupada and Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod did not manifest so much externally pure devotion, where you see the tears and the laughter and everything that Lord Chaitanya manifested, still you can see the pure conceptions in there. Okay? If not everybody can see, most don't. It has to be that rare devotee that has real devotion, real ecstatic, pure bhakti. See, they can go into those conceptions and see what they are. Okay? So the followers of Dvaita Prabhu are two kinds. See, so the followers of this goes to all acharyas. The followers of Bhakti Siddhanta were of two kinds. The followers of Prabhupada were of two kinds. Okay, so one. Yeah. So one type of follower, and they're the more rare ones, they have the pure conception that comes from pure bhakti. They're recipients of the mercy of their guru. See? The mercy of the real guru is pure devotional love of God. See, these pure, And that gives birth to pure conception of the real truth about Lord Chaitanya, the very inner, deep, confidential truths of devotional service. No one else knows these things. So you got to be a recipient of the mercy of a acharya, a real spiritual master in the real line who has real bhakti and real transcendental knowledge. See? That's going to be more rare. Such acharyas are more rare. I would say, like, out of Bhakti Siddhanta's 60,000 devotees, maybe Prabhupada was the one of those who knew. I mean, it's that rare. I mean, just how it is. It's just very rare that somebody's a recipient of the mercy. Now, what is that mercy? Well, that mercy is love of devotion to the Lord. So either Prabhupada brought it in and came in, which he probably did, and as soon as connecting with Bhakti Siddhanta, he knew, oh, this is it. Okay? And he just started to mature in that bhakti through his bhajan during the many years of doing bhajan. Okay, let's see if we got any comments here. So if you've got any questions in your mind or comments. Oh, great, Johan. Thanks for the verse. Yes, do that. Yeah, keep doing that. Because he is non-different from Hari, the Supreme Lord, he called Advaita. See? So let's explain that. See? Because he is non-different doesn't mean he's saying he's God. He's non-different. It's like Jesus saying to Philip, when you see me, you see the Father. It doesn't necessarily mean he's saying he's God. He's saying you see the qualities of God, which are non-different. The devotee and the Lord are non-different in that way. The Lord has pure devotion, and so does a devotee, just in a different amount. So the devotee is just a filled up infinitesimal soul with pure bhakti. See, non-different. You got to be non-different. How can you teach what is non-different from Hari? See, how can you teach what is non-different from Hari? In feeling and in conception, unless you're non-different from Hari. See, that's the Vaimedium principle of the real spiritual master. See, the problem is most gurus are not real spiritual masters. They're not real followers of Lord Chaitanya. They're not real followers in the disciplic line. And we'll get to that. Why? We'll explain it very clearly for those who want to know the truth. And then you think about it. You just look at the verses and see if what we're talking about here is reasonable, more clear than anything they're teaching on their little checklists out there. Yeah. Becoming saviors of the world at age 25. After just a few years in devotional service, all of a sudden there are big gurus and big acharyas and their disciples. Oh, please, Gurudev, deliver me. You think that's the real disciplic line? Well, you explain everything. It'll be very clear after this talk. We'll keep the pollution out of the real disciplic line, which is meant to do. So the followers of Dvaita Prabhu were two kinds. Some were real followers and the false followers. See? So the real followers of Lord Chaitanya and the Acharya are the followers of the path of prema. That's a disciplic line. Well, Bhakti Siddhanta he followed the path of prema personally. Bhakti Vinod followed the path of prema personally. Prabhupada followed the path of prema personally, but did they teach it? Did they show it? Oh, if you're a follower of the path of prema and you're going to teach the path of prema, You got to show the path of prema. You got to show that this person is bona fide, right? You got to show that you're an authority, that the Lord has made you, anointed you with the authority of pure devotion, right? Just kind of simple common sense. Even though they personally followed the path of prema, they didn't necessarily teach it publicly like Lord Chaitanya did. It wasn't time, wasn't ready. So the real disciplic line is there, see? And it was working in stages and steps, just like you see, God came through the line with Moses, and then the prophets progressively, and then some fructification in the form of Jesus. You notice Jesus came to the Jews, through the Jewish thing, the line all the way back through Abraham. See? And he fructified in the path of the Holy Spirit in Jesus, right? Well, what do you think is happening here in our Vaishnava line? See, Lord Chaitanya came and did something a little different. He brought the path of prema, see? And then it started to dwindle because for a while there were real followers of the path of prema who taught the path of prema, which were the Goswamis. And there's preachers who went out and spread the path of prema, Narottam, Srinivas, and Shamananda. See? And then it started to dwindle. You know why? Because within the disciplic lines became infiltrated with those who were not following the path of prema. They didn't have the capacity. They weren't able. See? And they started to pollute the line with, well, you know, we don't have prema. We don't know what it is. We start to forget what it is, or we don't agree with that principles of teaching the path of prema, just like now. Okay? And they say you have to now attain Krishna, attain Lord Chaitanya by austerities, by renunciation, by strict sadhana practice. See, before it was, oh, you just attain the path of prema by the mercy of associating with the devotees like they do here. See, we teach the path of prema appropriately as it's meant to be. Oh, you just associate with ecstatic devotees who follow the path of prema, and you hear what they say, and their clear conception of the absolute truth, which comes from prema, just busts all your illusions and all the contaminations that are in our line. The contaminations that, oh, by my austerity and my renunciation and my chanting 2 lakhs or 1 lakh or 16 rounds, I'm going to attain Raganuga, spontaneous devotional service. That is bogus, man. I'm sorry. It doesn't work like that. The books say it don't work like that. It's by the mercy of the devotees when they're preaching. See? See? So the real followers of Lord Chaitanya were the followers who followed the same prema that he followed. Didn't he follow path of prema? He followed Radha's path, man. Loving Krishna. He had the potency. He gave the potency to others. Just like here. We can, anybody coming here sincerely and listening to this preaching and from being convinced in their hearts, the Lord will give you prema. Why wouldn't he? Why would he want to hold himself back from you if you are really faithful? Anybody that doesn't have prema yet in their heart is simply because, and you could see, go look at the ones who don't. They're not exactly really convinced. They have some doubts. They may think that they want to teach the devotee. They want to teach me. Over and over again, I've seen that. They'll go look at the people who have faith in this path. It touches their heart. Ooh, look at them. Look at Lalita Ganga. Look at Johan. Look at Govinda. Look at Amy. Strong in faith and strong in feeling, like really, hey man, this is it, man. I feel protected. I feel very happy. I've been looking for this all my life. I feel like I got some real friends. I was talking to Amy. I feel part of the family. These are my friends. I'm just music to my ears to hear that kind of statements. That's it. Simple. Yeah. So back to the story. The followers of Advaita Prabhu were two of kinds. Some were real followers. See, real followers follow the path of prema. Even says in Chaitanya Bhagavat, many places, they follow the path of prema. Why? How? How did they get it? Oh, by the way, it was a gift. It's not like the Vaishnavas are teaching you got to attain it by your big friggin' austerities. That is wrong. That's sadhana siddha, and forget about trying to make it that way in Kali Yuga. Lord Chaitanya kicked a very strict brahmachari who only drank milk out of his kirtan. Oh, he's going to attain my mercy that way? Forget it. Kick him out, man. Drag him by the hair. Dragged out by the hair here when they start to believe in false concepts, conceptions. Yeah, see, no, that's a false follower of Lord Chaitanya. See, so rejecting the false followers. So is it those who do not show at least that their conceptions are like Prabhupada's? I mean, really, and they're just trying to dazzle people with flowery concepts in Vaishnavism, and then they doubly make the big mistake of saying, I'm Guru Dev, and I'm the head of the disciplic line, I'm a Srila. Hey man, you just expose yourself. Okay, you don't show any ecstasy? Well, Prabhupada showed some. He's well known for really having it. But these other guys, they're all either... And then I listen to them, and I'm wondering, why are they speculating? Why are they saying these things? They don't feel right, don't sound right. They don't agree with the concepts in here. Okay? I recognize Prabhupada in his books, man. This man knows, even though he may not have shown that much. But you can see these conceptions came from prema. Pure bhakti, man. A person who realized God. With both Jesus and Prabhupada, I knew immediately. These two persons know God, and I'm with them. Okay. So rejecting the false followers. So I reject false followers. You don't follow the path of prema or prove by your books that you are a prema bhakti by having clear conceptions of the absolute truth. I don't accept you as an acharya. I don't accept Narayan Maharaj as an acharya. I don't accept Sridhar Maharaj as acharya. It's time for people to know the truth and be set free. If you don't believe my opinion, go believe theirs and be dry sticks. They're all dry sticks. You notice? You show me one person who has the kind of prema that we're proved that we have the anointing of Krishna on us here in this Sangha, that we know what we're talking about, because those who believe in this preaching in their heart, look at the prema they got. Okay? And look at the prema they don't have. In these sanghas, all of them, they're from Narayan Maharaj down to the Gaudiya Math, Gaudiya Smita, and even ISKCON. Where's the prema? Nowhere to be seen. No progression of Krishna consciousness yet. Yeah, please. Now, all hope is not lost for them, by the way. It's just we got to get the facts straight. People, you got to get things straight in your head. You got to know what is contamination and what is purity. Because of that, our disciplic line mixes with false followers. Okay? And all of a sudden, there's nothing but false followers. And maybe one person, if you're lucky, in some generation that arises, like Bhakti Vinod started. Okay. So, rejecting the false followers. Anybody who does not show that they are prema bhaktis are false followers of Lord Chaitanya. They can become real followers. That's why they're there. The mercy is there. But at some time, they have to accept. I don't care if you're a big sannyasi, a big guru with big followers, with a big following. If you don't accept the real devotees who have real devotion and real clear conception of the absolute truth, of Lord Chaitanya's real movement, okay, you're not going to get this. You're just going to have your big following, and they might follow you till they'll die, but you didn't make it, man, and they didn't make it either. The game changer is the real follower of Lord Chaitanya. See, I pay obeisances to the real followers of Lord Chaitanya. What is their quality? Oh, here it is. The last part of the verse. Their life and soul is Lord Chaitanya. Oh, they all say, everybody says in the Vaishnavam, oh yeah, my life and soul is Radha and Krishna. Oh, I live for them. Oh, Lord Chaitanya is my life and soul. Oh yeah? Oh, what is the quality of that? Is it just a word for you? Or is it a feeling? Oh, is it not just like maybe a material superimposition on spontaneous devotion? Yeah? Is it, oh, I just love you, Lord Chaitanya. Or is it spontaneous, ecstatic love where the devotees laugh sometimes, cry sometimes, seems like a madman in the holy spirit of pure love of God, like the devotees in Vrindavan have? Oh, there's a real follower, man. Where do you see that? Has Radhanath manifested those qualities? Has Jaipataka manifested the qualities of a real follower? See? Whose life and soul? Where is the life and soul of Lord Chaitanya? That's the devotees who had that life and soul of Lord Chaitanya, that life of ecstatic love of God that brought profuse tears, and he's blowing his nose all the time. You see any nose blowers? I only see them in our Sangha. I only see Lalita Ganga and River blowing their nose. And a few others, and Janaki's, and probably Amy's doing it too. I don't know. She will. She sticks around long enough, man. She's going to be in the party of nose blowers. Hey, people think, oh, you see, he doesn't know anything about bhakti. Let me tell you something about this nose blowing. You think it's something small, but it's a very strong indication of a real devotee from a sahaja. Because you show me one sahaja that can blow their nose like you see the devotees in this sangha. This may seem silly to you guys, but I'm really serious, sort of, but profoundly joking and profoundly serious too at the same time. One of the qualities of Lord Chaitanya was blowing his nose, so much so he had to hire a servant who didn't work for any pay. Sridhar Maharaj held the cloth because he was blowing his nose so much from so much bhakti. That's one of the qualities that happen. One of the symptoms that happen when one is in ecstatic love of God. And let me tell you a practical story of how I know that even Shamarani doesn't even know what a real disciplic line. Yes, it's my friends, it's time to name names. You're going to see crazy Gaur Haridas name all names that he has all experiences. I know Shamarani, and I've met her quite a few times. If you mention my name, she'll think, oh, that Gaur Haridas, yeah. I saw a painting. And I was blowing my nose from the very beginning. A long time, man. So much bhakti that's one of its qualities. So here's the story. Shamarani, very advanced devotee, right? Prabhupada disciple, Shiksha disciple of Narayan Raj, right? Supposed to be really advanced, right? So I met her in Vrindavan. She was painting a picture, and I said, I really like that picture. There was a nose ring that was painted there, and I thought that was mucus coming out of her nose, out of Radharani's nose, out of a gopi's nose, Radha or gopi. I said, wow, this is so fantastic. I never seen anybody paint that that wonderful symptom of bhakti, that this mucus is coming out of her nose. You know what she said to me? Mucus? That's a nose ring. Oh, I said, I thought it was mucus because that comes down from the symptom of bhakti. She says, that ain't true. Mucus doesn't come from the nose of a devotee. What are you talking about? I said, really? You don't know that? Anyway, that was the end of the conversation. She wouldn't probably listen anymore of that. Okay? So even in the Narayan Sangha, they don't know about this stuff. How come they don't know about this? How come they're not taught that laughing and crying is the life and soul of Lord Chaitanya? The nose blowing is a symptom of having the life and soul of Lord Chaitanya. Life and soul of Lord Chaitanya is you have those qualities, those characteristics, those energies, those potencies of pure bhakti. He blew his nose, a real devotee in the line is going to blow their nose. He laughed and cried, a real devotee in the line who's gotten the real mercy is going to laugh and cry. That was the life and soul of Lord Chaitanya. He lived for that. He stayed in that ecstasy. He wanted to just live in that life and soul of that kind of worship. That was Radha Bhav, man. Radha is, like that. See, in this way he understood the deep secrets of bhakti. Why do you think I understand this verse? It's because of this bhakti, this devotion. And you guys are listening to this. Prabhupada never, put it in his book if you have eyes to see it, but who does? Narayan Raj didn't see this. Sridhar Maharaj didn't see this. Radhanath ain't seeing this. Jaipataka ain't seeing this. Why am I seeing this? See? Because we're teaching the real line here. And hopefully, so it doesn't get polluted with all these, like if I disappear tomorrow, you watch how many of these false followers come in and start preaching something different, some more Vaidhi principles. Oh, you got to attain Krishna now because they're projecting. Oh, we haven't attained Krishna, so now you got to do what we do. We chant 1 lakh a day, man. We do all these austerities. Oh, we follow Chaturmasis and all of this stuff. Because we want to attain Krishna. So, and then gone is the mercy, the gift. How many times have I read, everybody, it's a gift? In this book, it's a gift, it's a gift, it's a gift. How many times? And in the line, in our false lines now, oh, it's a work, it's a work, it's a work. By your works, you're saved, by all your hard austerities, by being some big cave dweller, living in a cave. You can't, no. See, people, this pollutes the line. So people need to find the real followers and pay your obeisances there, man. Don't worship mundane persons. Don't worship false followers. If you do, you pollute your own consciousness. You'll lose your bhakti. You'll lose this pure bhakti because you're mixing it with the modes of nature. You're mixing it with the putanas. You're mixing it with the false conceptions that you can be an acharya, like these guys have promoted themselves, like Narayan Raj and Bhakti and Srila Sridhar Maharaj, without manifesting the qualities of an acharya. And that doesn't mean they follow the rules strictly only. People, think, well, Narayan Raj or followed the rules strictly, therefore he's a charya. No, that ain't it. You may or may not follow the rules. But do you follow the path of prema because that gift has been given to you, either in this life from a bona fide guru or in a previous life you developed this in that way. Okay? So that's what it comes down to. So to make further clarification for any Thomas may be around, Madhavinda Puri, where the line started actually, had 2 examples in this book. 2 examples. One was an example of the false followers who didn't follow the path of prema. And the other was the real follower, who followed his guru sincerely and got the gift and benediction of prema, devotion. See? Ramachandra Puri was a critic of his own guru. He chastised and tried to instruct his own guru, just like those who changed Prabhupada's books. Because Prabhupada can't defend himself here, well, I am, they go and they change his books. See, that's the kind of false followers you're following out there in ISKCON, the book changers. And you're complying, oh, don't read Prabhupada's original books, man. No, 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 no. Read the change books. We recommend that. Matter of fact, we'll kick you out of ISKCON if you, I assume they probably say that now. I'm not sure, but yeah. See, that's a person's trying to instruct their spiritual master. They even tried to do it while he was here. See? So you want the benediction of Ramachandra Puri? What would he? He became a fault finder of real devotees. See? That's what people are following. We're here to show the standard, man. How many people are against what we teach? That means they're just pointing out there. I don't care if 1 million people don't believe it. 1 million false followers. Just like there are thousands of false gurus out there in ISKCON. They're not real followers of Path of Prema. They need this mercy. Do they really want to be? What do you want? You want real bhakti, or you want to stay a false follower? You want the real Krishna Vrindavan? Well, you got to come to those who have the real Krishna Vrindavan and the real Radha Vrindavan, living in their temple of their hearts. Okay. So Ishvara Puri was an example of the real follower. See, in the disciplic line, it's not like, well, he was initiated by Prabhupada, he was initiated by Bhakti Siddhanta, oh, he has a sannyasi uniform on, oh, he has a big name, Acharya. He must be bona fide. Don't be a Kali Yuga devotee. That's Kali Yuga mentality. Oh, he's got the ornaments, external ornaments, therefore he's Acharya. Oh, everybody says he's Acharya. No, you got to hear from a real Acharya, the real inner conclusions. You have to go to the Sudama Brahmin. Sudama Brahmin was in a kingdom. Okay? A kingdom that had millions of people who believed in the false Kundraka, just like we're in a kingdom now. And millions of people believe in the false representatives of Radha and Krishna. Well, so many, oh, you misbelieve in Pundraka. And even now, in modern day times, right now, they're saying, oh, you should believe in Radhanas and Narayan Maharaj and Sridhar Maharaj. They're equal with Prabhupada. And there's one guy here saying, no, I know the real Krishna. Like Sudama knew he was a real friend of Krishna, intimate friend. He knew the qualities of Krishna. And millions in the kingdom of Pundraka worshiping the Maya, see? The Mayak form. They didn't know. If they wanted to know, you had to go to Sudama. What has changed now? There's one person here. And there's so many gurus, thousands now, who say we represent the real Prabhupada and disciplic line. Who really does? Okay, we're here to explain these deep conceptions so that people can find the real path. Otherwise, it's hidden. Maya is always, oh yeah, go to this guru, that guru. They'll save you, and they can't save nothing. They can't give you real transcendental knowledge. Real transcendental knowledge comes from bhakti, a real bhakti Vedanta. Vedanta that comes from bhakti. Pure bhakti, not tainted bhakti. comes from being a recipient of this gift, either in a previous life or in this life, like you. So many of you are getting this pure bhakti now. See? Therefore, you represent the real line. Okay? So you don't want these guys to infiltrate it. As soon as they start, oh, it's all about attaining Krishna now. It's all about doing austerities to attain Krishna, about doing strict sadhana to attain Krishna. Attain what? We got Krishna. Don't you know that? Do you believe that here in the sun? Who has any doubt that Krishna has been attained? He doesn't just manifest when you haven't attained him. Have we attained Radha and Lord Chaitanya's mercy? It's there to attain. We have it. My Guru Dev Narayan Raj said, no, to attain Krishna, it would take you many, many lifetimes. Yeah, go follow his path. Go follow that one. We already got Krishna. We already got Radha, man. And that's a fact. And I'm going to prove it every day. We're going to make it more and more clear that it will get even atheists to believe it. Why not, man? Shoot for the rhinoceros. I'll get ISKCON gurus to believe. You watch, man. The power of my Lord is here. They're indomitable. We have the unattainable ones, Radha and Krishna. They're pumping their life through this sangha. Can you feel it? Can you see this is more different than anything you've experienced in this life? Can you see this is really, truly the greatest show on earth? You show me a greater show than the expression of pure love of God and the conceptions to back it up. There ain't any better show than that. That's the who's who and the what's what to be seen in this world. And we're doing it. We've been chosen to do this. We're the two, not the one. I don't want it just to be a neo. I don't want it to be just a what do you call, Trinity. I want to be the two, Radha and Krishna, right? What do you guys want? Let's see the reactions you got. Is this making sense to anybody out there? So, he is called a Dvaita because he propagates the cult of devotion. He is called Acharya. See, so cult of devotion. He's called Acharya. Now, Prabhupada was an Acharya, and Bhaktisiddhanta and Bhaktivinoda. They were promoting the cult of devotion. See, the cultivation of devotion was first on the Vaidhi platform. See? This is the next phase. We're cultivating devotion on the platform of Raganuga, leading very quickly to spontaneous awakening of devotion, which is the final deliverance. See, this is the final deliverance. This is how you attain the kingdom of God. You don't necessarily get the kingdom of God just cultivating devotion on the level of Varnashram Dharma. You'll have to do that for many lifetimes. And then maybe you'll get Vaikuntha. Okay? The best part of that path of the rules and regulations now in Kali Yuga is just to get you to this point, to meeting the Raganuga teacher, teaching these conceptions, these very deep conceptions, so that you can cultivate, you get Bhakti Lata Bij awakened in your heart, This gives you deep attraction to Krishna and talks about Krishna. To chant the holy name, you like to chant the holy name. You want to either chant japa or maybe kirtan will be your thing. But you'll be very attracted and more so all the time. So Shamaguru, you got any questions? Those who don't carry, Lalita says, those who don't carry the substance are not the followers of the path, first path. They cannot give out their own emptiness. Yeah. Yeah, Johan, that's a good verse too. I like Gauranga's potatoes. I'm blissed out. My Lord is the most merciful. Replying to David Beeman, those potato Vaishnavas. What is this? Oops. Whoops. God darn, it keeps. So many can't get free from being attached to ISKCON. However, heavy contamination. Prabhupada wasn't attached. To have ISKCON be titled gurus. Exactly. That was, yeah, Prabhupada was ready to leave ISKCON because they became very controlling. They locked him in his room. They wanted to control him. He says, here, take ISKCON. I'll see you later, man. It's only when they came to their senses. Acharya is in name only taking, not giving, so they don't deserve that title. They don't propagate the cult of devotion. Yeah, so, it's not like the Lord is, rejecting. No, he wants to help them. I mean, but you have to hear from the real empowered servant. You remember I read the verse? That if you can recognize a real associate of Lord Chaitanya, it is very easy to attain Krishna. That's the whole problem, is people haven't recognized a real associate. They sort of recognize Prabhupada, but you see, they recognize through the knowledge somewhat. They didn't understand the knowledge, but they could see this guy is special. See? So now is the time to show the full thing, reveal, shout from the rooftops, the truth. Okay, we'll make this a part one. I have to go catch a boat now. And I'll see you all later. And hopefully, Shamaguru, you understand. If you have any more questions, we'll expand this further because this is a very important topic. How to keep in the real line and keep it clean, and not have these austerity buffs come in here. And they want to control. They have a different idea. And we'll get into that. That's the next verse is coming. So we'll do a part 2 on this. Okay, Haribol, think about this deeply, and we'll be back. Hare Krishna.